On stage, two women chatted casually, as if they were old friends reuniting. Yet, only a few sharp-eyed observers could sense that beneath the surface, a silent rivalry was unfolding, like two blooming flowers competing for brilliance, beautiful, but edged with thorns. To Dahlia, even though Natasha Harmon held a noble status, she didn't feel inferior or defeated. On the contrary, she was full of fighting spirit. She had always been proud and never one to easily admit defeat. No matter what challenges stood before her, she intended to overcome them all. So what if it was Natasha Harmon? So what if she was the Steel Queen of Swinton's business world? One day, Dahlia would stand as her equal, or even surpass her. Everyone has already witnessed Miss Dahlia's remarkable poise, Natasha said with a smile. And now, I'd like to introduce another outstanding young talent to everyone here. He not only saved me but also helped the Harmon family greatly. He is truly a benefactor to our family. Her words sent a wave of murmurs through the audience. People glanced around in surprise and curiosity. Who could earn such high praise from Natasha Harmon herself? Chris, could the person she's talking about be you? James suddenly blurted out. In his view, only someone like Chris Nolan, handsome and successful, could match the person Natasha described. Little Nolan, who would have thought you were the Harmon family's benefactor? What a delight! Florence's eyes lit up with joy, immediately jumping to the conclusion that Chris was the one. Chris Nolan's mouth twitched. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Him? A benefactor to the Harmons? If he really had that kind of ability, would he be on the verge of bankruptcy? Could it be that guy? A shadow flashed across Chris's mind, but he quickly shook his head. No way. It couldn't be him, that loser? How could he possibly be the Harmon family's benefactor? As tension and anticipation filled the air, after a few seconds of pause, Natasha finally spoke again. All right, no more suspense. Now, let's give a warm round of applause as we welcome Mr. Rhys to the stage. As she gestured grandly, a spotlight hit Dustin squarely, illuminating him on the spot. Instantly, all eyes turned to him. Dustin? It's Dustin? James's jaw dropped in disbelief, mouth wide enough to fit an egg. No way, the Harmon family's benefactor is that loser Dustin. Florence, too, was utterly dumbfounded. To her, Dustin had always been a worthless man who couldn't do anything right. No skills, no background. How did he suddenly become a benefactor to the Harmons? Why? Why is it him? Chris Nolan clenched his teeth, his nails digging into his palms. Along with his shock came a wave of jealousy and unwillingness. Why him? Why did that loser earn Natasha's favor? How was he any worse than Dustin? In terms of looks, he was handsome. In wealth, he had more than enough. In family background, he far outmatched Dustin. By every standard, he was superior, more talented, more promising. Yet women were blind, falling for a broke nobody like Dustin. Why? Chris's expression turned dark and resentful. It really is him. Dahlia stared at Dustin under the spotlight, her emotions complex, surprise, confusion, and something she couldn't quite name. Yet Dustin himself felt no joy despite all the attention. What is this woman up to? She didn't say anything about putting me on stage. He frowned slightly, clearly baffled. After hesitating a moment, he finally walked forward. Soon, murmurs spread throughout the crowd again. Who is that guy? I've never seen him before. Rumor has it he's Natasha's new boy toy. She's using this opening ceremony to give him a bit of fame. Ha! So he's just a pretty face after all. People gossiped, obviously looking down on Dustin as a man living off a woman. Mr. Rhys is my savior and a true benefactor to the Harmon family, Natasha declared with a gentle smile, wrapping her arm around Dustin's. I hope all of you here will look out for him in the future. As she said this, she turned to glance at Dahlia, as if to declare her claim. Dahlia's face remained calm, her eyes firm and unyielding. She even lifted her chin defiantly, as if to say, the man you fancy? He's just someone I threw away. And just like that, the invisible battle between the two women resumed. Their gazes collided like sparks, either willing to back down. At that moment, Dustin finally realized something was off. Wait a second, when did they become rivals? Aren't they supposed to be business partners? Why does it feel like I'm caught between two love rivals? After several seconds of silent tension, both women finally looked away, ending in a drawl. Miss Dahlia, here's to a pleasant partnership, Natasha said, extending her hand again. Likewise. Dahlia smiled and shook her hand. From now on, the company is in your hands. I have some matters to handle with Dustin, so please excuse us. With a knowing smile, Natasha led Dustin off the stage. The entire time, Dustin didn't say a word. He was just there. A pure prop. Miss Harmon. Just as the two stepped down, Chris tried to step forward and say something. But Natasha didn't even glance at him and spat a single word. Scram! That one word froze Chris in place. His last shred of hope was crushed. He now realized Natasha had no intention of letting him off easily. In fact, he even started to suspect that the investigation into his company was the doing of the Harmons, that backstabbing couple. If you won't show mercy, don't expect me to either. With one last furious glance, Chris turned and left. Dustin! Just then, Dahlia chased after him. Her gaze was sharp, as if she had something important to say. Mr. Rhys, I'll leave you two to chat. I'll be waiting in the lounge, Natasha said with a smile, letting go of his arm graciously. She was confident in her own charm. You looking for me? Dustin turned to face Dahlia calmly. Tell me, was the Harmon family choosing me as a partner? You're doing? Dahlia asked directly. Ever since learning Natasha's identity, this question had been lingering in her mind. She had her suspicions but hesitated to believe it, because of who Dustin was. Ms. Nicholson, I don't understand what you're talking about. Dustin's expression was calm, pretending to be clueless. He wasn't someone who sought praise or recognition. Since things were over between him and Dahlia, he had no desire for any more entanglements. It really wasn't you. Dahlia looked at him suspiciously. President Nicholson, you must be mistaken. How could someone as useless as me possibly help you? Dustin said blandly. I suppose I was overthinking it. A trace of disappointment flashed in Dahlia's eyes. You're right. Why would you help me for no reason? After all, we no longer have any relationship. Besides, you don't even have the ability to help. You're absolutely right, President Nicholson. I've got no money, no power, nothing compared to Chris Nolan. Is there anything else you need from me? Dustin said calmly. No. You can go back to attending to Miss Harmon now, Dahlia said coldly. All right, then I'll take my leave. Without another word, Dustin quickly caught up with Natasha Harmon, who had intentionally slowed her steps. Mr. Rhys, it seems Miss Nicholson still hasn't gotten over you, Natasha teased. Not over me? Dustin laughed at himself. It's already a miracle she doesn't hate me. A woman's heart is like a needle at the bottom of the sea. Sometimes even she doesn't realize what she truly feels. Natasha smiled and changed the subject. Oh right, didn't you say earlier that you were still missing some rare medicinal herbs? What, Miss Harmon, have you found them? Dustin perked up instantly. Not exactly, but I know someone who might be able to help. He comes from a prestigious medical family and has collected many valuable herbs. There might be something you need among them, Natasha explained. Oh? Who is this person? Dustin asked. Come with me and you'll find out. Natasha kept a bit of mystery, then took Dustin's hand and led him into a lounge on the second floor. Inside the lounge, two people were seated. One was Natasha's grandfather, Mr. Harmon. The other was a burly middle-aged man in a suit, his muscular build and imposing aura clearly marking him as someone unusual. Mr. Rhys, you're here. Please, have a seat. As soon as Dustin entered, Mr. Harmon stood up and warmly welcomed him. How have you been feeling lately, Mr. Harmon? Dustin asked politely. Much better now, all thanks to you. If not for your help, I'd be long gone. Mr. Harmon laughed. It was just a small favor. Dustin replied modestly. Mr. Rhys, let me introduce you. Natasha gestured toward the middle-aged man. This is Uncle Dong, from the provincial capital. He specializes in medicine and has a deep foundation in the field. If you need anything, feel free to talk to him. Pleasure to meet you, Uncle Dong. Dustin nodded slightly. I didn't expect the man Mr. Harmon speaks so highly of to be so young. But let's see how capable you really are, Dongwang said, scanning Dustin with a look of skepticism. He had heard of a so-called miracle doctor in Swinton, which piqued his curiosity enough to visit personally. But to find it was just a young kid? What a waste of time. Uncle Dong, don't judge a book by its cover. I've personally seen Mr. Rhys's skills, He's no worse than those famous old doctors, Natasha said in his defense. Is that so? Then how about he checks my pulse and sees what he can figure out? Dong Wang rolled up his sleeve and placed his wrist on the table, clearly intending to challenge him. No need to take your pulse. I've already seen your condition. Dustin spoke plainly. You've seen it? Dong Wang was taken aback. Are you joking? Just by looking at me, you know what illness I have. Not even the top doctors in the provincial capital can do that. I don't know about others, but I can see it. Dustin spoke with confidence. All right then, tell me, what have you seen? Dong Wang sneered. Your meridians are damaged, your qi and blood are obstructed, and you often experience shortness of breath and fatigue, especially in your chest. There's a cold toxin invading the area. Combined with a past internal injury, it has progressed to a terminal condition. Terminal condition? Ha! What nonsense! Dong Wang scoffed. Young man, do you even know who I am? I've trained in martial arts since childhood, built a strong body, and regularly soak in medicinal baths. I'm practically immune to illness. And you're telling me I'm terminally ill? What a joke! Your strength is just on the surface. The real ailment is within. And one more thing, you must stop soaking in those medicinal baths. If you don't, your condition will worsen. Once it erupts, the consequences will be severe. Dustin warned. Nonsense! I've been soaking in those baths for over 40 years with no issues. And now you say I can't? What a load of rubbish! Dong Wang was visibly irritated. I'm just giving you a kind reminder. If you continue to ignore it, within 3 days the internal injury and cold toxin will erupt and turn against you. Dustin warned again. Save it! I've seen plenty of frauds like you. Dong Wang scoffed dismissively. Uncle Dong, Mr. Lu's skills are extraordinary. You really shouldn't take it lightly. Natasha reminded him. Natasha, you've clearly been fooled. I know my own body. There's nothing wrong with me. This guy's just trying to scare you. If you don't believe it, then how about we make a bet? Oh? What kind of bet? Simple. If you follow within 3 days, then you let Mr. Lu choose freely from your collection of rare medicinal herbs. All right. But if I don't get sick, then you can pick 3 treasures from the Harmon family's vault. Natasha said boldly. Haha, you said it. If you're offering treasures, I won't say no. Dong Wang laughed. The Harmon family vault was filled with rare and precious items. Picking 3 was like hitting the jackpot. Uncle Dong, just a word of advice. Don't leave Swinton for the next few days. If something happens, at least I'll be nearby to help. Dustin added a final warning. What a joke! Do you think I'm the kind of person who needs your help? Even if I were sick, which I'm not, I'd never turn to you. Dong Wang was utterly disdainful. If it weren't for the Harmon family, he wouldn't have wasted time talking to a fraud. No need to say more, we'll know soon enough. Dustin smiled calmly and said no more. He only hoped that among Dong Wang's precious herbs, there would be something he needed.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to